Everybody
know
know
you have a good
1
heart.
o'clock.
I can feel it, I can see it. I had a good heart too. And it's called bankruptcy. You have to diversify, so you need both. That's right.
I'm going to start the other room.
Because you end up being stressed out, you can't do the work anymore. Now you can't go out there and get the clients and your bills get behind, and before you know it, it's all bankruptcy. And those people that you try to see, let's get bankruptcy. Let me tell you something. You bankruptcy 2 years later, you're fine and better position than you started with. So don't knock it. No. So what was the other question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to give you a hug. You say I just love you so much.
You getting some good stuff out of here?
I am getting
That's a good thing. That's
excellent stuff.
That's what I want to hear.
Excellent stuff. And it's like, the only thing is I can't afford it.
Don't worry. See, listen, let me tell you what I do. My secret and stuff like that is I make a list of stuff I get. Who would get that, and then I start, then I prioritize them. See, this one had the greatest effect. And then I say, okay, so I have my list of things I'm gonna purchase. So then I'm like, okay, so like when I make the profit, I'm like, okay, well, on my list of things I need to purchase, I need to buy this. Hey, this is such and such. It's now it's time I'm ready to get that. And never be afraid to negotiate a deal. Like, hey, look, what can we negotiate? How was vacation? I didn't.
That's all we maintain.
Because
And the rest of the time we focus on the lower
I'm getting that, and I got the thing yesterday.
Because we need you.
But
That's what you get yesterday.
But we need one or two of those.
Oh, you did? Oh, good. Because you can make them both.
Because I'm going to do my website today.
Because when you combine the both of them together, that's when you can really like have true like. That's when you go like totally pop.
Yeah. But see, this is what I'm thinking, because all of what you're talking about now is stuff that I've had a vision for. I set it my goal at the beginning of the year.
So you've already seen.
To start doing some of this stuff, which the elite thing that you guys set up today, I was like, how can I create a product because of these women that I'm going to be dealing with. And my tagline, or my name is Sister Soldier. So I am,
Hold on one second. Give me a favor. Stack these roll chairs out. Give me that table and move it here. I need that table. Yes, just stack them. Just stack them. Just stack them. I don't want that roll at all.
Is I'm teaching them, and I want to show them how to start their own business.
See, I think one of the things that I really like about that is because I think that sometimes the answer that people always give people is go get a job, and I think sometimes I don't think that's the right answer.
And I've been learning enough from you and everywhere that I go and learning how to start a business and being in school. And I think it's simple if you just know the steps, but people are so scared to do it. And a lot of these veterans that are coming back that are injured, they're not ready to go to work. So I want to show them how to create their own.
Yeah, I want to put it right here.
I want to show them how to create their own because they're not ready to go to work. They're dealing with internal issues and all this other stuff. So that's what I want to help them with. And this, the elite product is going to really help me get that out to them.
Well, see, the 21-day challenge will be perfect for you because you can really help them, kind of focus in. Because, typically what people have is they don't have a problem with enthusiasm or energy. They usually have a problem with, like, directions.
That's why we created the Eat Your Day, Eat Your Frog Day. Because all we want to do is work and get stuff.
I need this is getting straight. Take it out. No, we can just sit in the back. Just sit right there in the back. Nah, we just standing there. I need it for a social casting table. Yeah, let the next class in. But I need somebody to come get this trash off the table.
But we'll
No, send me a staff member for this trash.
we'll talk.
Listen, we're going to talk because I think that if you can simplify the steps for those women, they can really accomplish real change. And that's the key. It's like, can you really help them accomplish like true change?
And that's what people get when they come in that door. Yeah, and then we can also talk a little bit about contracting side too.
You have one of those older parents, huh?
I was a financial manager. So
That's
a professional one.
So So I can send people when they say, well, all the people, I can tell you, anybody's contracting, the majority of them, especially in their small business, the financial side is really jacked up. They know
Yeah,
their
you were
skill,
100.
they know how to do what they do. The financial side jacked up. So that's what we're gonna help you with, that's all I'm gonna send you my email. Everybody's gonna have to get that message, especially the contractors. Because they don't have time.
No, these ones, all the minors are like.
Right, it's gonna look at you.
Kind of looking at me, right?
Exactly. I got my hands down there, just like that. Okay, hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm glad to see that you have been doing.
Ah,
And I would like to be contaminated.
I can't make
you want to get contaminated, I hear you, that's right. I said, give you millionaires and billionaires.
Oh, so they're bigger.
That's right.
Yeah.
The next one I'm going is one that's in cold one.
Oh, well, let me tell you something. That's what everybody said when they came in here, when they left, they was sweating.
That's what I'm talking
And I
about right
did not
there.
change the temperature.
I'm gonna sit
It
up
just
front.
means that when I start my,
That's what I'm gonna sit up front there.
that's right, Tim, right?
Sit right up front.
I
Phyllis.
Get hot, that information.
Yeah, 'cause I need you.
I think a lot of
That's my buddy right here.
a lot of the stuff that you guys are offering here, because I'm here, he just told me that you were going to take this one, that you guys are offering here. I really could use it, but I need to work on it.
Before you leave here at the end of the day, we are very flexible. I don't ever want somebody to leave. We have easy cash flow management. We work out. Look, it's that you want to do it. So if you gotta, you just see Keisha, like Keisha need a paper plane. She'll work it out. She'll be like, hey, okay, what you want to come out, when you want to come out. You just give it a date. You can give it a date, you give it a check. You can even post date the check.
Yeah, I know that. I know I did that. Well, no, I didn't post date. No,
You did.
check
You
on
did.
that. Yeah, I didn't post date.
We are flexible here.
But I'm talking about.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
That's something.
Hey, is that a form? Oh yeah, I need that. It's a credit card form. Oh Lord. No. I'm just being right on it. What can I do for you? I'm in the market of helping people manage their cash flow. So we work out flexible payments. What you need? We can work out flexible payments. You can fill out the form, put your information in, and put on it how you want to work out. You say, look, I want two payments of this, or 4 payments of this. And you can write right on there, one payment. Okay. I believe in flexible. You can't, don't make it. They talk about good content. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, clean, like PG. Thank you. That's nice. So you live in T-Net? You grew up in T-Net?
No, I grew up in South Carolina.
Oh yeah. I'm not from this guy.
Oh, are you? Yeah, I'm also from. Oh, I got that day.
Yeah. She gave my car some bail bond like I'm a criminal. What is bail money?
She heard you in that class.
I know bail. Oh yeah. I got my other friend back today. I did. I just drank 2 of them. You know. You must have read my mind. Appreciate it.
Oh, you did a good mix for you. At least we working side by side now.
Okay, have a seat, everybody.
Good morning.
Have a seat. Somebody said good morning.
Good morning.
I said somebody said good morning. It's afternoon. Good
Changed
afternoon.
it. I said good morning and I said no, good afternoon.
See, now you're catching up.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
You have to catch up and keep up in here because we're going to be moving.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Somebody said they were cold coming in, but let me tell you, you might have been cold coming in, but you're going to be sweating when you leave.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay? But this is going to be hot. So, how's everybody doing?
Great.
Fantastic.
Okay, I like to say exceptional.
Exceptional.
No, you can't use my word. I said I like to say exceptional.
Listen, everybody. If I could bootleg a boot,
word.
listen, if I could bootleg a boot, I could bootleg a term.
There you go. Nope. You want to be unique. Keith Harrell used to say, super fantastic. Right? Right? That was his word. And I used to say it, super fantastic. And then what changed was that he passed. And then when he died, I said, I'm going to use his words, but I have to find my own. And I was typing up an email, and at the end of the email, I said, exceptionally Odessa. I said, ooh, I like that. So that's why I say now, when somebody say, how you doing? I say, I'm doing exceptional. And somebody say, can I use that? I said, nope, find your own word. Right, I'm going to trademark it. Okay? So today we're going to be talking about millionaire hustle. Right? That's what today's word is, millionaire. And I'm going to teach you about being a hustler. Nope, I need that. Is that in the way?
Pull it all the way off to, yep, it's blocking. Just a little,
Okay,
yep, pull back. Okay, because that's far it goes back. Okay.
Wonderful. Okay, so this is about, I'm Odessa Hopkins, and I am the co-owner of the CEO Business Cafe. And I'm also the creator, and this is even more important today, because I'm the creator of What's Your Millionaire Hustle. Why do I call it a hustle? Because I'm from home.
That's what I'm talking about. My old girl.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I am from home. I was born a home husband. And one thing New Yorkers know about is what? Hustle. We know how to get our hustle on. We know how to hustle because we don't really have a choice, right? We don't have things, and we don't have money, and we don't have capital unless we go out there and hustle for it. We have to make it happen. That's what I mean by hustle. See, some people hear the word hustle and they think of negative connotation. They think of hustling as drug dealing, right? Illegal stuff. But you know what? Let me tell you something. You can learn something from anybody. The best hustlers, the best money makers are who? Drug dealers. Find me a drug dealer that can't count money. A lot of money, right? The only problem is that they're not putting it to good use, some people. That's the problem. But if they turn that around, they would be the millionaire hustler for sure. So we can learn something from some and everybody.
Marnie from online, so she wants to let you know she is from Harlem and in the Bronx. Marnie says, hey, I know about hustling.
She knows what I'm talking about. She knows what I'm talking about. So this is about what's your millionaire hustle. Now before you think about that,
Brooklyn, New York says we in the house. Machine.
Brooklyn, New York, tell them Lennox Road.
Machine Muhammad.
Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Tell them Brooklyn, New York over here.
They are going crazy on in New York from there. Like, woo!
So the first thing we have to know when we're talking about what's your millionaire hustle, before you have a millionaire hustle, you have to know what a millionaire is.
That's right.
You have to know the history behind where you're trying to go. Right? Who knows when the term millionaires was first adopted? When it was first used, the word millionaire. Does anybody know? That's what I'm talking about. You have to know the history. 1700s. In the 1700s, and it was not even in this country, it was in French people came up with the word. That's why I needed this board. Because 1700, I wanted to show you that millionaire actually had two N's in it. You know, sometimes you write millionaire, you kind of throw that extra N in there. You're actually right. Even though it's not spelled that way in the U.S., because that changed in the 1800s. Okay? It went down from two N's to one N. You know how we like to mess up words, right? So we changed it to millionaire with one N. What industry was the person in? The first one in the United States that became a millionaire. You're going to learn some stuff today. Oil? No. Tobacco. Tobacco. Thomas Jefferson said, you are a millionaire. In his letter to me. I'm going to tell you something really interesting about millionaire, about the 1700s now. Guess who was considered millionaires? They said the poorest person, right? Millionaire. the poorest person. No, that's just what they considered to be the poorest person. So imagine what the slaves were. If you were a millionaire, if you were like just at the borderline of having anything, of having something, like you had money, you had money, you had lots of it, but they were considered to be the poorest person when you got to a million. In other words, you were a millionaire, but to them, you were one of the poorest persons. You had just started arriving. Okay? That's what a millionaire, but that's how far that word has come. So what we want to do today, we're going to give you a little bit of a millionaire test. And that was 2 of the ones right there. But now I'm going to find out what else you know about millionaires, because you just flunked the first 2. Right now you have an F, but we can make change that. Because this is about learning. I want you to come in here with an F, because when you leave, you're going to have an A+. What is a millionaire? Let me tell you. This is what it is. It means that you have $1 million, but it's in net assets. See, a lot of people think that just because they have things that add up to $1 million, that they're a millionaire. But when you start deducting those things, then what you pay, it goes down and down and down and down and down. So you're not even close. Not even close. It's about the net worth. And about 10 million people are considered to be millionaires. Okay? But this is what it is. It includes your stocks, your bonds, your investment properties. But guess what? If you have $1 million home that you paid $1 million for, that does not count. You are not a millionaire because you have $1 million house that you paid $1 million for. Number one, because we know that today is not worth $1 million anyway. You know those houses over in Woodmore that they paid 1.2 and 1.3 million for? We can probably get one now for about 400,000. Right? So that obviously cannot be counted. So they know what they're talking about. And here's the real trick. See, they're talking about income. That means that it's about money that comes in, income that comes in that's paid to you residually, monthly. Right? So when you hear that word residual income, a lot of people think of network marketing, don't they? But that's why millionaires, they're network marketers anyway. Because they have residual income. We're the ones who are just getting on to residual income. They have it. Warren Buffett, he invested in Pampered Chef because he knows about residual income. It's not based on the assets, unless it's a myth.
Is a millionaire a person who makes $1 million per month or per year?
No. It's that they have $1 million in net assets. So if you have $1 million sitting in the bank,
Okay.
you're a millionaire because it's sitting in the bank. It's not going anywhere as long as you have this. It's drawing a little bit of interest, even if it's $1.
Okay.
Right? So it's about all of those things that add up that you can actually pull out $1 million at that time. So it's residual income. If you have income that's coming in monthly, right? Monthly income. So if you have investment properties, that's why real estate is so important. If you have investment properties that's paying you after the mortgage is being paid and is paying you that income, you're going to count that income. So you have to know where you're going. If you want to be a millionaire, hang around millionaires and billionaires. That's what I do. That's what I hang around everybody else too. I'm from Harlem. I'm always going to be a home girl. I'm always going to go home. But you have to know how to come out of your comfort zone and not just sit on the stoop. And people at home know what I mean about sitting on the stoop because you come outside every day, right? Right? Get dressed, put on your clothes, and where you going? You're going to sit on the stoop.
Cause trouble.
Cause trouble, that's right. Or watch other people get in trouble. But you're not making any money sitting on the stoop. And you're not going to learn how to generate wealth. You have to go where they are. Millionaires hang around billionaires. Right? So this is the thing. And when you hear about millionaires and wealthy people, see about these that's not assets and not counted. See, that's how they get out of that tax loophole. They hide it in here. right? Because they're going to be counted like this. So when they say wealthy or millionaires, they're just talking about their income. They have everything else that's hidden in their assets, right? So get this. Millionaires, $1 million. What if you make $2 million in net assets? I mean, net income. What are you? 2 million. Multi-millionaire.
Oh, okay.
Multi-millionaire, right? Have you ever heard a term for people who make 10 million and more? You haven't heard that term, have you? They don't want you to use it. It's like deca-millionaire.
Oh, okay.
A real term. Go look it up in Wikipedia. I'm not going to tell you anything that you can't find either on Wikipedia or Google, and I prefer Wikipedia. You can find it on Google, but it's more factual on Wikipedia. So go look it up. Because those who make $10 million, they don't want you to say that word. Because then people are going to be looking at them for taxes. They're going to know that they have a whole lot of money that they're hiding. Right? How many of them have foundations? Multi-millionaires, deca-millionaires, right? They all have foundations now. Their daughter have a foundation, their daddy have a foundation, their son have a foundation, they all have foundations. So you have to know how to protect those things. Every millionaire has a hustle. Every single millionaire has a hustle. I don't care who they are. They have a hustle. So you have to switch that mindset from thinking of hustling as a negative thing that most of us, especially those of us from New York and Chicago, right? We think in those terms, but we have to do that switch. And we have to turn that hustle into a positive thing and say, I'm going to hustle my way to $1 million. Right? I'm going to hustle my way to a multi-million-dollar company. I'm going to hustle my way out of poverty. I'm going to hustle my way into building the largest corporation that I can think of in Harlem or in Chicago or in Atlanta. You have to think about hustling. Because in order to think about hustling, you know that if you don't do it, you're not going to have it. And I'm not talking about W-2 employment. Because in W-2s, you know what they do? When you get a W-2 check, the taxes come out, right?
That's right.
When you work your own business, guess who you pay first? Yourself. And then you pay taxes. That's the thing about owning your own company. And you don't really know about being an entrepreneur until you have run your own company without your W-2. Without your W-2. Because then anything that you have, you're going to have to kill to have. That's what I call it. I don't mean in the literal sense, but you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? You're going to have to go out there and get it. That's what I mean about killing. You're going to have to go out there and you're going to make it happen. You're going to create something. You're going to think of something. And I always say, network marketing, you better join 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4. Because that doesn't work for you. I built 4 companies. It's hard work building your own companies. And I still have 2 of those companies. But you know what? It takes time to generate those revenues. My little multiple income stream from network marketing, I look at my mailbox and every week there's a check. And I did work, but I've done less work than I've done in my own company. But this is my dream. So you have to have your own dream as a hustler, but you always have to have other streams of income because you have to have that money coming in, right, to fund what your own dream is. Some people say, no, I want to have my own dream. I'm not worried about network marketing. That's somebody else's dream. Yeah, their dream is helping to fund mine. I like that. How about that? Doesn't that change your thought process when you're thinking that way? And that's what you have to do. You have to think about it. Now, what's your millionaire hustle? What's your millionaire hustle? That's what you're going to have to decide here today. And you need to have many of them. Many of them. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? To get to that million. Because that's money. Remember, it's a net. So you have to have a lot of it coming in order to pay those bills and everything and to have that net. And every millionaire has more than one stream of income. I don't know of one that doesn't. If he has a business, he has that coming in. He has stocks, bonds, he has investment portfolio, they have that coming in. And when people say they don't want to do, invest in another product like a network marketing company, what do you think stocks and stuff are? You're investing in their companies, right? You're not helping to build it, but you're investing in it. I like to have a little bit more control myself. Contact list. This right here is the most important. Some people would think that their investments, stocks, bonds, and stuff are the most important. No, your contact list. If you have a good contact list, you can always make money. Because everybody in your contact list is a potential what? A potential customer. Ask anybody if I'll let them into my contact list. Yes.
You do have a question online from the Newark area. She says, hey, what's a person who has $10 million called?
A decamillionaire.
A decamillionaire? It's a decamillionaire. Okay, you got your answer.
Decamillionaire. And if I'm mispronouncing it, tell Jersey. That's New Jersey. It's my Jersey family, Newark. Tell them to go to Wikipedia and just look up 10 million. Right? Millionaires with 10 million.
Oh yeah, we can.
Okay, you'll find it. It's in Wikipedia. I told you. Anything I say today, you can go to Wikipedia and find or Google it. So that contact list, remember that, your contact list. I've had people on my contact list who didn't do business with me, and 5 years from now they came back to do business with me. Right? Isn't that right? Any good business person knows you don't cross somebody off just because they don't do business with you at that time. I believe, like Billy Jolly says, that if you don't do business with me at that time, I say next. I say next, I don't say never.
Okay.
There's a difference. Right?
Right.
There's a difference. Risk taker. Millionaires are risk takers. We're risk takers. Every single thing that you do, every single day of your life, you're taking a risk, aren't you?
Yes.
The only difference between millionaires and poor people is how much risk you're willing to take. How much risk you're willing to take. That's the difference. So it's like millionaires and billionaires, the wealthy, they actually think about, well, I'm going to take this risk to see how much money I'm going to make. Poor people say, I don't want to take that risk because then it's going to show me how much money I'm going to lose. See the difference in that shift? You see, it's more important to us to think about losing than winning. To millionaires and billionaires, it's more important to think about winning than losing. Because they think if I make money, I can always lose a little bit of it. Right? I can afford to lose money if I'm making money. Right? So in my dealing with the millionaires and billionaires of the companies, and I'm actually on contract, my contract from a diversity consultant, my company right now is running contracting with 2 companies, and they're both billion-dollar companies. So they were not lying to you when they told you that. It's absolutely true. It's Jacobs Engineering and Casa Permanente. So, you have to be around people who can actually educate you and tell you stuff that they've learned by doing or by being around other people that do. What I like to do is, I like to come back and tell you what I've learned from other people. Right? That's what I like to do. So, let's talk about networking. That's what I like to do. I come back and I tell you because I'm networking. Right? We're talking. A millionaire and billionaires, they're networkers. And if they're not, they have a network on their team. You better believe it. I like to go back and I like to think about Facebook. Right? Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody knows him now. He wasn't a networker, was he? He was just a geek. Still a geek. Right? But you know that his company, billions, right? And I said you gotta be a networker. But what's the other thing I said? Or you have to what? Have somebody on your team. He didn't go out and make that company actually what it was as far as financially. He did the programming. He had other people doing the programming. But he actually set Facebook up to be a free entity. It wasn't meant to make money. But then he had somebody else come in and saw the value of it And they went out and networked and got the investors interested in Facebook. You see, that's why team is important with millionaires and billionaires. They have teams. They have a contact list. Right? So if they can't do it, they have someone or find someone who can. That's how Facebook got to make all that money. That's why his partner ended up getting a piece of it. Because he was the one with contact list. Okay? All millionaires and billionaires, I don't care what you say, they're what? They're lifetime learners. They read, they listen to audio tapes, they listen to videos, you know, they watch Shark Tank.
It's a good show.
Good show. How many of you watch Shark Tank? Okay, the next seminar workshop that you go in, make sure your hand is up. When they say, how many of you watch Shark Tank? Raise your hand. Raise your hand, even if it means you're going to watch it when you go home. How many of you watch Shark Tank? Right? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's one of the traits I learned because I'm a self-learner. So I learned traits from other people. As they did it or said it and I heard it and I saw it, I picked up those traits. So I can be in a room and then when I see the real smart people and all the ones who have the college degrees, and I always say my husband had 2 college degrees, one for me and one for him. But I'm a lifetime learner. I built my own little empire. Self-taught. Right? But lifetime learner. Willie Jolly, when y'all leave here today, on Monday, call Willie Jolly, williejolly.com, and tell him that you want to purchase his Wealthy Ways CD. If you're listening in your car when you leave here and you're going and coming, if you're not listening to things that teach you, that feed your brain, you're missing out. You're missing out. Whenever you get into my car, you will never ever find any CDs in my car if it's not self-improvement CDs. And one of my best set of CDs is Willie Jolly's Wealthy Ways. I barely even knew him when I got it. And this is another thing that millionaires do. See, they invest in themselves. They absolutely invest in themselves because we look at a $195 seminar workshop and we say, gosh, that's expensive. Right? Oh man, I'm not going to afford that. I don't want to go there. That's too much money. And millionaires, and even people who are not millionaires, but they have millionaire mindsets, which I have, they look at $195 workshops and say, they can't be teaching too much of that. Only $179, $195? Right? Because they know that the workshops that are the most valuable, because they put price, they put value. It's about value and stuff. And they look at value in terms of money, dollars and cents. And $195, you're thinking, that's not much money. They can't be, that's all they're going to get charged. $2,000 seminars, $1,500 seminars, that's where you're going to find them. So it's okay to go to the $195, but you got to spend some of that money, and we're going to have one of those too. We're going to have one of those, and it's going to be super powerful. But you're going to have to pay for it. But it's going to be who's going to be in the room that you're really paying for. Because sometimes the knowledge is not necessarily with the presenter, it's who else is in the room. The presenter is only one person. There's so much time each person can spend with them. So you need to make sure that there's powerful people in the room of the seminar that you're attending. Because you're going to add those people to your what? To your contact list. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
You have to understand your client. Millionaires understand their client. If they play golf, what's a millionaire going to do?
Play golf.
They're going to invite them to the golf course. Right? They don't care if they don't win. Because they don't really want to beat their client anyway. But they're going to invite them to the golf course. Okay? So you have to understand your client. I have a set of golf clubs. I'm learning how to play golf. Because a lot of the contracts that are written on the golf course. On the country club next to the golf course.
Yeah.
Right? You pay golf, you talk, you go and sign the contract. You have to understand your client and their needs. They understand that.
One thing online is saying the name of that CD one time.
Wealthy Ways CD. It's either a 6 or 7 set CD. Dennis Kimbrough, then he interviewed Dennis Kimbrough, he interviewed, I think it was Keith Harrell, he interviewed Michael Roberts. How many of you know who Michael Roberts is? Right? Good. Well, let me tell you, when you get this CD set, that interview with Michael Roberts, that's going to shift your brain. You need some shifting. That's going to shift your brain, let me tell you. Because what he's going to tell you is going to make you understand what it takes to be a millionaire. He grew up in St. Louis, and all I can tell you in between from that to that is that he owns more real estate than I think any other African American. And he takes things in St. Louis very, very well respected. He's one of these people who didn't leave. He rebuilt.
Really jolly.
Yes. Really Jolly. ReallyJolly.com. Call. Cheryl will probably answer the phone. That's his assistant. I say that's the go-to person. And tell them that you want the Wealthy Ways CD set. I think I was one of the ones who bought one of the last ones. But I think if enough people ask for it, that he'll remake it. I need another one because I loaned some of the CDs out and they didn't come back. So I want y'all to start asking for it so he'll make more so I can get another set. I told you I'm hustling.
I understand.
I did tell you that. Right? So that's it. So you have to get, if you want something, you have to know how to go after it and get it, right?
Right.
Exactly. But it's good information because you really do want to have that.
Yes.
Okay. So the ABCs. Always be closed. You can have as many clients as you want to have, but if they're not cutting a check, you're not getting paid, are you?
That's right.
If you're not closing that client, you will not get paid.
That's right.
You have to know how to close. I don't know if many of you met Shay Brown, right? Partners in Learning?
Yes.
Shay is the expert at closing. You have to know how to close, and oftentimes it's the script.
Right.
If you don't know how to do it on your own, you have to start from a script. He's the master at scripting. You have to know how to close. How many of you are in business for yourselves? Okay? How many of you were employees, W-2? How many of you still are W-2s? Whew! Let me tell you, when you get out there and you're without that W-2, you will really know what it feels like to run a business. You really, really will. Because every morning you're thinking, I'm not going to get paid unless I go to work. I'm not going to get paid unless I eat. I'm not going to eat unless I get paid. Right?
Right, right.
But when you're W-2, and I know because I was for 40 years almost, and I was accustomed to getting my check. It went all the way up to 6 figures and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm good. But when that check stopped, I was like, what did I do? What was I thinking? And then I thought, oh, I know what. I want to be a millionaire. That's right. Because my W-2 was not going to allow me to be a millionaire. They want to pay me what they wanted me to be paid. I wanted to pay me what I felt I was worth. That's the difference. That's another mind shift that you have to make. And you can do that while you're getting that W-2. Francina of TCE, the career engineer, I like to use her term. She does have that term. It's not a word, but it's a term. I'm going to borrow it to give her credit for it. Is she says your W-2 job, your W-2 employer, that's your corporate sponsor. They're funding your business, just like I said network marketing does. Right? Those residual checks that you get, they may be little. People talking about, oh, ain't nobody making a whole lot of money in network marketing. So what? You're getting checks. I get a check every single week. And then I get one once a month. Then I get another one once a week. All those checks add up. And they add up to much more than what I pay out. That's the important thing. Because they're like stocks and bonds. The companies go, they come. They say, oh, that company's going to be gone in 5 years. I can make a lot of money in 5 years. I have a 60-month millionaire challenge going on right now. 5 years, millionaires out. I'll be back in 5 years, so if any of you want to join that challenge, you can. Or you can come back in 5 years. Well, no, because I won't be here, I'm sorry.
Then you need a definite.
That's probably going
You got a new club, a second club.
Exactly.
Don't take my turn, don't take my turn.
I'm going to give you credit.
Second club, that's the new club.
That's a new club, see that? Okay, I have one for you. Let me see. Investors, all millionaires. are investors. They invest in themselves. They invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. They invest in other companies. They invest in other people. You heard angel investors? They are investors. When you join other businesses, you are investing in that particular business. That's why I like network marketing, because I'm investing in their business. So what was their idea? I'm an investor. I'm helping them to build it, and I'm getting paid. That's what it's about. You like that word?
No.
What about this?
Oh, there you go.
Hustlenomics.
I'm looking that up in Wikipedia right now. Hustlenomics.
That one will not be there. That's my word.
Word challenge.
Hustlenomics.
Scrabble word challenge.
Hustlenomics. And let me tell you how CEO Business Cafe works. I was out there and I said, ooh, I'm a Hustlenomics. That's what I'm going to name this. And Taria said, Hustlenomics 101. I said, bam. Hustlenomics 101 was born. See, that's about brainstorming. That's why you need the teams. You need other people. You can't think of it all by yourself. Right? Famous Amos Wiley, he came here for his 75th birthday. Thank God. Willie Jolly actually brought him here. And we had his 75th birthday party. And he said, a lot of people are talking about the white man stole my business and all this stuff. You got to blame somebody, right? And he says, they didn't do that. He said, I was hard-headed. Everybody kept telling me that I needed advisors. I needed a team. I thought I could do it all by myself. So I did it by myself, ended up by myself, and went broke.
Oh, wow.
Okay? That's it. Anything that you offer should have more value than cost. More value than cost. Your product, your service, even what you say should have more value than the cost of that seminar or that workshop. You can always sell them something later on, right? Because they're going to want something later on anyway. If they find more value in what you have, they're going to be willing to pay for other things because they know there's going to be more value in that too. Okay? Viral component. President Obama won the election the last time. One of the ways that he won it was because he got a geek to teach him Twitter.
Yes.
It had a viral effect and got to more people than it could before his opponent was able to catch up. It needs a viral effect. Residual component. Gotta have, remember I've been talking about that residual income component. It needs a residual income. You have to have those checks coming in. Remember? Right? It's about how much you're getting in income monthly that will cause you to become a millionaire. Has to be simple. Has to be something that's needed. Oh, great. And you have to be able to track those results. And most importantly, and more importantly, you have to make sure that you have good marketing. Don't go out there and get some postcards. Go look at my, that table's gone. I was going to say go look at my business cards. Go look at my business cards and see my marketing collateral, what it looks like. That business card is flawless. It's good quality, it's good graphics, it's good stock, it's well laid out. If you go to Vistaprint, I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is spend the extra money to upgrade at Vistaprint. Because if I get a business card from you and it has Vistaprint on the back, I'm going to give it back to you. And I'll tell you, when you're ready to invest in yourself, come back and give me another card. Because right now you're investing just in Vistaprint. Right? You're advertising them. Right? So I think for something like $20 or $20, something like that, you can actually get it taken off. So if you're not willing to spend $20, why do you want to talk to me? My time is worth more than $20. Right? Right. And I'm sure you're probably selling something that's worth more than $20. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about, investing in yourself. You have to invest in your marketing as well. Spend a couple more dollars and upgrade. Don't have those stretched out graphics. Right? Have somebody to resize it for you. Don't give me a postcard from Vistaprint that has their logo on it. They have flowers. If I get another Vistaprint purple flower on my business card, I'm going to scream. I can't tell your card from the other 25 that I have with the flowers. Invest in yourself. And I'm not saying to not research and find somebody who can do it with your budget or within budget. but just do the research and the homework to find somebody who will do that for you. Okay, there are people out there who will help you get that start. Okay, good training, residual income and network marketing companies. You know, a lot of people talk about it, but if you find a team, because it's like a bank. You know, you go to a couple of tellers, and that bank is horrible, horrible. But then all of a sudden you go to talk to one person, and they give you all of this information, and they help you out, and they do this and they do that. Now you have a relationship. You've built a relationship, right? Everybody needs a good banking relationship. So it's not so much about that institution, it's about the team. So now you form that team, see who they work with really well and form a team. Now you have your own little banking team. Because I tell you, I wanted to change from one bank one time, but they have all of the best products, they have all of the best convenience. And convenience is very, very valuable to you, right? But what happened was, right when I started to get out, and this is about millionaires too, because they cater to the people who they either think have money or know have money. So I had only a couple of dollars in the bank there, right? It was my little personal account. I had a couple of dollars in there. And I said to him, I said, at first they were just going to send me over. Okay, here you go, Ms. Hopkins. And I said, yeah. I said, you know, I was going to bring my commercial account here. You know, we own CEO Business Cafe, and that's our commercial account. It's not here. And they said, oh, really? Where is it? Oh, it's a 5,200 square foot, you know, what? Oh, well, you know, I said, no, because you charge too many fees. I'm getting fees on my little account here, fees. And they pulled out all these, literally, brochures. But you know, if you just make if you just swipe your bank card, your check card, if you go to the store and you swipe that one time, you will not get that monthly fee. If you don't come to the teller and you go to the bank machine instead, you will not get that monthly fee. When I was done, I had no monthly fees. They never, ever told me that. Because they figure if you don't really have a lot of money in there, that's the only way they're going to get their money is by the monthly fees. Right? See, that's what I'm talking about. But I saw wealthy people. I know how they do their transaction. I know how they get them to pay attention. So we have to use those same techniques and tactics to get them to pay attention to us. I don't care if you don't have a facility. You might know somebody who has a facility. And so, you know what? I was trying to get my friend, you know, her name is Ms. Hopkins, and I was thinking about her coming over to your bank and switching accounts. But, you know, I'm kind of thinking about changing. You're not telling a lie, are you?
No.
You bet me, you know me.
No.
Right?
Yes.
Right. They're great teams. Anybody who is in residual companies, it's about the team and the opportunity to make money. I didn't say make millions, I didn't say make trillions or billions. I said to make money. You have to add it up. The harder you work, the more money you have the potential to make. But the little bits add up. I have some checks that come in and they're just $20 or $30 a week. But guess what? That's my gas for the month. Right? I have those little $20 checks up in this gas. People out there, I'm getting the low-hanging fruits. They're going out there struggling to sell, you know, $2,000 worth of coffee, and I tell somebody a $5 product, and I'm able to buy my gas. So you got to think about it. That's how you have to think about it. CloudHouse is a simple tool. That's the one that's the backup system. You have data that you need to always get to. Always. If this presentation didn't come up today on this computer, what was I going to do? I was going to CloudHouse, right? I was going right to anybody else's computer with internet, and I was going to my system because I can get to it from anywhere. $5 a month. If you can't pay $5 a month, your data is not worth keeping. I have pictures that's worth more than $5 for me to keep. My computer crashes, I'm not worried about it. I can get to any one of my computers, including the two here, and get anything I want off of them from anybody else's computer that has it. My econ is what I use. I use that. That's one of my hustles. And the reason I use that, everything I do is for a purpose. See, that's another thing they have to think about. If you're going to do something, do it with a purpose. I do my econ with a purpose because my tax accountant charges me $175 per hour. $175 per hour. But I have a cash flow management system that came with this. I paid for this whole package of $29.99 a month. And it comes with my cash flow management system. I put that in there, send him the spreadsheet. And instead of him charging me $2,000 or $3,000, I end up paying about $300 or $400. And everything's done. And that's literally just what happened. That's how I just found out about it. Because I used it. Perks. You want to have perks. You gotta have if you're gonna get the opportunity, make sure they have perks. This one actually comes with a $1,000 bonus. Every time I share it, because it's a telling opportunity, it's not a selling opportunity. So all I have to do is tell you, I just told you that I saved myself $2,000 or $3,000. Did that catch your interest? Exactly. I didn't sell you anything, I just told you. But every time I share with somebody and I tell it, and they join my team, I get $1,000 bonus every time 7 people get interested. And they will also save $2,000 or $3,000 on their taxes. Right? Or anything else. You want video tool. This happens to be one of the ones I use. It's my video talk. It's a great tool. I use this one because it actually has a web show in it. Right? I like web show. I love video. It has a video library channel. You can see Marcella outside the door. And she is the queen of my video talk, right? That's your video tool, and you want to use a video tool. Yes.
By the way, Muhammad says he is ready and eager to join your team of millionaires. Just want to let you know that. So you might want to tell him the way to contact you to join the team.
Okay, yeah, join the 60-month millionaire challenge team. He can join my team. He can call me.
Woo! We give it out our personal telephone numbers. Go ahead, give it out.
Telephone numbers.
Power numbers. Power.
301. Write this down. 301-220-1006. And I'm going to give you my cell. That's to the office. I'm going to give you another one.
Woo.
It's my cell number. 301
Woo.
922-7140. And you know why I gave you that number, my cell number? Is because one thing I learned from George Frazier. He said he'll give you a business card with his numbers on it all day, all long, because only 1% are actually going to follow up.
Woo. Powerful.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you know, 60-month millionaire challenge. I made a commitment, and this just started. It's actually just kicking off. I made a decision that in 60 months, not only am I a millionaire, but the people, every person on our team is going to be a millionaire because we're going to do it as a team effort. I don't care what anybody else in the company is doing. We are going to be millionaires, right? And that's the bottom. That's the bottom of what our challenge is.
One small correction. Muhammad. She said, I am a she, I'm not a he. Please forgive us. We have corrected our error.
She
is ready to join the team. She is ready to be a millionaire. She is ready to take the 60-month millionaire challenge.
Girls rock.
Hashtag girls rock.
Girls are also the rock for their men. Yeah, it's a team effort. I have a good husband. So y'all can rock all y'all want. But I'm not leaving my husband to rock with me.
That's what I'm talking about. I need a
We can
Gibraltar
rock
woman in my
together.
life.
Okay? There's nothing like rocking with the right people.
That's what I'm talking about.
60-month millionaire challenge, okay?
Jay Renee from Texas said, amen. Amen.
We are going to use my econ for this challenge. This is what we're using. The reason why we're using my econ for this challenge is because it's a personal financial success tool. That's what this is. It's a personal financial success tool. So all the tools that it has in there is what we need to be financially successful. There's a lot of products and services and all that stuff. I don't want to sell a bunch of products. I want to be wealthy. Right? So I want to do what it takes that's going to teach me along the way of how to be wealthy. The other thing is that the owner of the company, Ivy Stokes, has committed to me personally at my house, and he will be at my house again next week on Friday evening. He's going to be a part of our team challenge, and he is committed to be our personal coach, the owner of the company, multi-millionaire. Okay? So that's the purpose of that. So my name is Odessa Hopkins, and how many millionaires do we have in this room? As a matter of fact, how many millionaire hustlers do we have in this room? That's what we're talking about. Does anybody have any questions? Hi. Hey, Jessica, how you doing? That's definitely a millionaire hustler back there. Let me tell you. Yes. Ladies,
Yes.
the 60-month millionaire, the only thing you're paying for, you're not paying for my time even though I'm leading the challenge. You're just paying for the My Econ system. It's $179.99 one time and $29.99 a month. If you work, if you have a W-2, or if you know people who are W-2 employees, they're one of your best customers to be a part of this challenge with you. The reason is that 80% of W-2s fill out their W-4s wrong. They think that zero that they put on is for how many dependents. And it's actually the allowances that they should be tracking. And the government, our good Uncle Sam, will give them all of their tax deductions if they are business owners.
Ruth Bradford said,
to business owners.
Ruth Bradford said, let you know she is raising her hand. I am a millionaire hustler. She said, you forgot to say not just you're a millionaire, but you're a millionaire hustler.
That's right. You are.
Myron says, here we are, the hustlers. We're here online. They're here to let you know, ladies are rocking out tonight.
Wow. So that's the millionaire hustle. Okay? And whether or not you join our challenge, I want you to make your own personal commitment.
That's right.
Your own personal commitment. Okay? Do it for yourself, do it for your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews. Because that's what I have to do it for. It's not just me. I'm going to be here, I'm going to be gone. I do it for everybody else in my family who's coming behind me. They have to know how to carry on that legacy when we leave. That's what the important thing is, right? So we have to make a commitment. I want all of you to make a commitment that in 5 years, you will be that millionaire or that multi-millionaire or even the decamillionaire. Right?
That's what I'm talking about right there. Technically.
Is that a commitment that we can all
Yes.
make here today?
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay? Because you know what I always say? That even if you don't make it to that million, you're going to be like a few hundred thousands of dollars more than you would have been today. Just by striving for the million.
Shout out to the New Jersey millionaire hustlers, not to be outdone by the New York millionaire hustlers. I just want to let you know that New Jersey is in the house. Hey, don't start us something. Don't start us something.
My niece was in New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey,
Yeah, I know.
Irvington, New Jersey. We
That's what I'm
all
talking about right there.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right
Jersey
next
in the
door.
house.
So we do love our New Jersey family. So folks, I thank you today. Leave here in a positive way. Go into your next session with a positive mind, a full heart, and willingness to learn, grow, develop, and to be your millionaire hustler.
1 second, Odessa. We are going to be running behind by about 10 to 12 minutes, which allows you to take questions from the audience, or from the online audience, or as well from the on-site audience.
Okay. Okay, so you have no questions? Yep.
I never asked a question.
Oh, that's right, the young lady did. Yes.
Yeah, all that we covered today is what most people in the MLM industry are doing.
Mm-hmm. They're doing, but they're not teaching.
Okay,
Right.
but I don't know anyone who has hit $1 million so far
Mhm.
doing what you said.
That's
What's
right.
the
You know
difference?
why? Because I just said it. They're doing, but they're not teaching.
Oh,
They're
they-
doing. How many of you are in any kind of network marketing company? How many of you have had classes in that network marketing company that showed you a plan that says, this is 60 months, which is 5 years. This is how we're going to get to $1 million. We're going to track it. We have a cash management system, so we're going to get out of debt first. We're going to invest second, and we're going to save. How many? One. You're unique. That's the problem. That's why. Because they're making the money and they're spending it. That's why you don't see the millions. It's not that they haven't made $1 million, because over time some of them probably has. But they don't know because they're not tracking it. They're spending it. I talk to people all the time who said, oh yeah, I was in this company and I was the leader and I made $10,000 a month. And they're broke.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We're not going to do that. 60 months, we're fine.
By the way,
we're not spending, we're investing, and we're paying off our debt, and we're putting money away, and we're going to have our million.
and you got Clarice Kofi. She just wanted to say, once again, New Jersey seems to be rocking out. She just wanted to let you know, New Jersey millionaire in the house. But also, we have Cynthia Barron's here. Cynthia Barron says, I just finished attending your husband's seminar, and I noticed that he mentioned my econ and
Yes.
who's the best. He's like, who should I go get it with? She wants to know, who should I go get it with?
She cannot lose with either one of us. The money is going into the same house.
And I think we just had a special guest come online. The catchword is get excited.
That's right.
I think we know who that is.
Lisa Taylor!
Lisa, get excited.
That's
Ooh,
right. Lisa Taylor. That is the
Get
Evolve
excited.
girl. Yes. That is the Evolve girl. And guess what? Lisa Taylor is joining us in the Millionaire Hustle. So I'm not saying to leave your opportunity. That's the beauty of it. I said we are a teaching, a telling, not selling company. You don't have to leave any opportunity that you're in. And you don't want to, especially if you're getting paid. If it's doing something for you, do not leave it. Remember I said how many streams of income you need to have? Those checks that I have come in are not coming from one company. They're not coming from one company. So you don't want to leave it. What you want to do is join something that's going to teach you how to keep it and how to make it grow. That's what you want to do. We don't want you to leave anything. Everybody that's on my team has another residual income. A job, another company, a 1099, another residual income, all the above. We all have stuff. And we're all going to make those things work for us, and we're going to get rid of what's not. It's really just that simple. Right? If you're doing something and it's helping you to lose weight and stay healthy, why would you let that go? I don't care if you're not making any money off of it. If it's keeping you healthy, you got to be healthy in order to enjoy your money. So don't let it go. See, some people put so much value in the dollar that they're not looking at the benefit. Right? One of the things that I'm in an opportunity with doesn't bring me any money. But the value that it brings is more than the cost. You see what I'm saying? So it's my video marketing. I mean, it brings a little bit, but not like my other opportunities or other things that I do. But the benefit, if I had to go someplace else and get my video marketing tools, I would be paying a whole lot more money than $49 a month. I'll be paying $150, $200 a month. So do I care whether I don't make any money in that? Because I would be losing money somewhere else. See, we have to think smarter. That's the thing. People are looking at business opportunities in the wrong kind of mindset. They're just looking at, I gotta get this to make money. I'm going out there, I'm gonna make me some money. I'm gonna make me some money. You're not saving money. You're not saying, because I have to pay off my debt. I have to pay tuition. I have to put money away for my child's college fund. I have to invest some of this. I have a goal to become a millionaire in 5 years. 2 years, 1 year. One of my partners said, 5 years? We're going to hit that mark way before 5 years. I said, yes, we will. That's the mindset we have. And we're willing to work for it. Okay? Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, let's all say together, what's your millionaire hustle? You right?
Hold on. I want to get them on the crowd. I want to get the audience. Wait a second. I want to get the audience. I want
them to say this at home. Say this because you have to put it in your mind that it's in you to be a millionaire, a multimillionaire, decamillionaire, a billionaire. You have to say it in your mind. You ready?
Yeah. Ready.
1, 2, 3.
What's your millionaire hustle? Woo! Can I get everybody to look at the camera and say that one time? Can I get everybody to stand up and look at the camera? We want to make sure they involve everybody. Just stand up and look at the camera. Odessa, come on around here to the front of the group. Come on around here to the front of the group. You got to lead the pack. You got to lead the pack. I'm just going to...
myself.
Right on time. Yes, that's what I said.
She must have heard millionaire.
I heard that.
She heard about to be on camera. That's what she heard.
I heard that.
One second, let me just zoom that out so we can get everybody in.
And thank you, everybody who's watching online and at home, at work, wherever you are.
New Jersey say, don't, you better shout them out. I want y'all to slide over. This
That's our neighbor.
Dr. Van, slide this way, slide this way.
New Jersey is in the house, too. New Jersey is here.
Slide this way.
New Jersey's in the house.
Because we just live on the video.
Okay, Odessa, lead the charge.
We just loud.
Okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3. What's your millionaire hustle?
Woo! You guys rock! All right, as you guys are leaving out, make sure you say your names on the camera. Say, my name is blank, this is my company, and I will be a millionaire. Just come on right up to the camera and then lead on out. Just come right on up. You first, come right on up.
Okay, Phyllis Brent, Remax First Royalty. I will be a millionaire.
Oh, you rock, you rock. Come on up, come on up.
Jackie Wilson, the Wilson Life Skills Institute. I am a millionaire.
Woo, you rock, you rock.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Angela Behrens-Alexander, and my company is the Institute for Exceptional Children, and I am a millionaire.
My name is Jessica Smith. My company is Culture Kingdom Kids, and I am a millionaire.
Woo, you rock, you rock, you rock, you rock.
Francine Williams, Global Advantage Realty. I am a millionaire.
You rock.
Stephanie Gibson, my video talk, and I am a millionaire.
You rock.
Jean Fields, Longo Financial Services, and I am a millionaire.
You rock, you rock. Woo. New Jersey in the house.
Steve Cooper, the great state of New Jersey, Secure Mortgage Lending Solutions, and I am a millionaire.
You rock, you rock.
Lillian Capers, Legal Shield, and I am a millionaire.
Gary Green, Family Your Way to BusinessSuccess.info, and I am a millionaire.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Get excited, get excited.
Dolphin Michael, D&G General Contractors, and I am a millionaire.
Dr. Wangaza Michael Bondale, M&B Legacy Group. I am a DECA millionaire.
Y'all see the people out here? They are amazing. Do you hear the energy in this room? They are taking it to the next level. If you're out there right now in the internet world, give us a shout out. Let us know who you are. Make that proclamation today that you are a millionaire. Not a millionaire, a decamillionaire. Not a decamillionaire, but a billionaire. We'll be right back. Look forward to the next session for lunch. We're going to take a 10-minute break while I move the cameras and get everything all set up. But when we come back, the next session, the lunch working session, y'all ready for this? The lunch working session is going to be by the international sensation, Ash Shukla, and he's going to be teaching his new series called Set It Off. Y'all ready to set it off in 2012? What are you going to do?
Let's set it off.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Deca Millionaire, Marini, Mama C, my beloved millionaire hustler, Lisa, get excited. Taylor, we see you out there. Clarice claiming that she's a multi-millionaire. We hear you, we see you, we love you. Ine Red, New Jersey Ice out there with Morality claiming that they're going to be Deca millionaires. You rock, you rock, you rock. You got any closing tricks for the people out there?
Wow.
Any last words of encouragement on Deca before we cut the camera off?
Now.
Right.
It begins as soon as you do it.
Right.
Yes.
Got any last words of encouragement for our women entrepreneurs out there? You have managed $1 billion portfolio. I mean, you have done it. You opened up the CEO Business Cafe. You have founded the Contractors Institute. You ran ASAE Enterprises. How do you do it all? How do you maintain that family life, maintain all that money, and do it in style? Come on, Odessa, tell us the secret.
You don't do it alone. If you do it by yourself, you end up by yourself. It takes a team effort. Anything that's worth doing and worth having is worth sharing. So you have to bring everybody into the loop, but you have to make sure they're the right people. Everybody's not your client. Everybody is not your team member. So select the right people, good people, share, tell, don't sell, and you too will be a billionaire.
All right, you
Notice
rock.
I said billion.
You rock, you rock, you rock.